turning to the risk at our companies. You know, I think everybody gets to this point and they say, well, this all sounds great, right? So what could go wrong? All right, so we're going to tell you, here are the things that could potentially go wrong, although we work very hard to try to make sure that these things don't come to fruition. But on the regulatory side, we own 60,000 miles of regulated pipe. And so from time to time, the FERC initiates Section 5 rate cases. You could always have unexpected policy changes at the FERC. On the crude oil side, on the CO2 side, I mentioned that we produce crude oil volumes. You know, those volumes fluctuate more than our volumes, for example, on our products pipeline. But, you know, you have to put that in perspective, because when you say, well, you've got some volume risk, I mean, you know, when we talk about the potential for fluctuation on volumes at SACROC or Yates, I mean, because these are CO2 floods and all you're trying to do is extend out the tail on that oil field, and what we're talking about is you could have a 5 or 10% fluctuation in volumes. We're not talking about, you know, volumes could fluctuate 50 or 60% from what you were expecting. Crude oil price, as I mentioned, we hedge that exposure, and our 2013 sensitivity is about $6 million per dollar change. We have some economically sensitive businesses in our terminals group. For example, we have some terminals that handle steel, and so when you're in bad economic times, those volumes can decrease. You've got environmental and terrorism risk. Now we carry insurance to protect against these, but obviously that if you have a lot of spills, that can be a reputational impact. Now, we spend a lot of time trying to manage and make sure that we are running safe and efficient operations. And so one thing that we do for our investors is we publish our safety statistics on our website. And our goal, and generally we are successful at this, is to be better than our industry average in all the industries that we're in. And also we track what our 3-year average is, and we are constantly trying to improve against our own 3-year average. And then interest rates. Then this primarily relates to K&P, which is we float on a reasonable portion of our debt. Right now at K&P, it's around 35%, and that's about $61 million if you had a 100 basis point increase for a full year at K&P, which really means you'd have about a 200 basis point move over the year to average 100 basis points.